Noon, and we begin 13 News at noon with weather changes coming our way. Right now we're keeping an eye on live Doppler 13 radar. We have some rain popping up in central Indiana, but we are bracing for colder weather heading our way. Sean has been tracking this all, and he's been warning us since Monday, the start of the week. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Changes are coming.
And especially for the commute tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll be on the lookout for some slick spots here.
Okay.
What we have for today, we're finally getting rid of that fog that was dense and spots during the morning, caused quite a few school delays. This is the time lapse from Miami County, where we had near zero visibility at times. Now again, we're in a much better place right now. Steadier showers setting up over the southern and southeastern corner of the state. This includes Franklin and Shelbyville and Seymour, Richmond, Newcastle, and the east side of the metro area. But otherwise, we're seeing some pokes of sunshine starting to develop as well. 42 right now in Indy. It's 37 in Lafayette, 45 in Shelbyville, and 44 this hour in Bloomington. So let's get you ready for tomorrow. Going into school, no problems. It just will be colder. The kids are going to need heavier coats tomorrow morning. It's going to be a brighter start, but a colder one too. We're going to be in the middle 20s to start out tomorrow. And then what happens is we get some sunshine, atmosphere actually destabilizes a little bit, and then this cold air is going to come rushing in tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. It's going to squeeze out some snowburst here, and temperatures will continue to drop. So slick spots around for the evening commute tomorrow. We'll talk about the cold punch for Thursday morning coming up in the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Sean. And right now we're learning more about a deadly shooting on the city's east side. We've learned one man is dead and a woman is in critical condition. Just a few hours ago, the Marion County coroner identified the man that was killed as 26-year-old Walter Lockhart Jr. IMPD tells 13 News 3 people were detained as part of the investigation. The shooting happened at an apartment building near Euclid Avenue and Washington Street last night around 6:30. Investigators tell 13 News they believe an argument may have started before shots were fired.
People need to learn to talk things out. Now, granted, I'll admit, even sometimes I'm not able to work everything out with everybody I talk to, so it's better to turn and walk away and revisit it another day. It's not worth resorting to violence in any manner, especially on guns.
Police ask if you know anything. Please call Crime Stoppers, that number 317-262-TIPS. And right now we're reaching out to NDOT with questions about a semi-truck fire in Johnson County. It happened overnight. Our crews are monitoring the NDOT cameras just as this truck caught fire on I-65. So far, no word on any injuries or if any other vehicles were involved. We do know the fire did close several lanes. We'll pass along any new information once we learn more. And right now we're trying to find out the condition of a man after firefighters rescued him from being trapped inside his burning home. At last check, the man is in critical condition. The fire happened yesterday morning around 8 near State Street and Walker Avenue in Indianapolis. That's on the near southeast side. Firefighters found the man, who they say is in his late 60s or early 70s. He was barely conscious in his home. They got him out through a window on the side, which did not burn. Firefighters say 2 women started breaking windows and trying to get to him before they arrived. And an Indianapolis man is taking a plea deal for shooting and killing his Lyft driver before stealing his car. It's been more than 2 years since the crime on the far west side of Indy. Rich and I was in the courtroom with his camera when Devin Powell pled guilty.
Tony Garland was working as a Lyft rideshare driver on June 30th, 2022, when he picked up Devin Powell sometime after midnight. Garland's body was found about 6 a.m. along Waterfront Parkway West Drive, just a few hundred yards from Powell's far west side apartment.
Detectives submitted a warrant for records from Lyft and learned that the last account that called for a ride from Mr. Garland belonged to one Devin Powell.
GPS tracking showed Garland's white GMC Acadia in Maryville. Police there pulled over the car and found Powell behind the wheel and blood on the center console. He told police he was attending a family function.
Subsequent processing of the Acadia led to the discovery of the victim's wallet, Mr. Powell's wallet, and the 9mm semi-automatic pistol under the front seat of the Acadia. Bullets recovered from the autopsy of Mr. Garland were able to be matched to the pistol.
Powell told Judge Angela Dow Davis that he did not want to go to trial and that he did want to plead guilty to murder. With Garland's widow, parents, and about 30 other family and friends in the courtroom gallery, Powell pleaded guilty to 1 count of murder.
So you're the one who shot him? Multiple times? All right. Court will find you guilty, enter judgment of conviction for murder, and set out sentencing.
The plea agreement dismisses a 2nd count of murder and a robbery charge. The sentence is up to the judge, up to a maximum 55 years in prison. Powell will be sentenced January 27th. At the Marion County Community Justice Campus, Rich Nye, 13 News.
And Tony Garland was 34 years old. He left behind a wife and now 13-year-old son. And right now, the Tippecanoe County coroner is identifying a man who died after police say he opened fire on 3 people at a Lafayette laundromat. We've been following this story. Police say that 73-year-old Lewis McLaughlin is believed to be the shooter. The coroner found the man from Lincoln, Nebraska, died after shooting himself. The coroner also identified one of the other 3 people shot as 35-year-old Keith Ford of Lafayette, and then another man and woman were hospitalized after the shooting. Police have not updated us on their conditions. And right now, we now know that a 5th person is charged in the deadly shooting of a high school football player from southern Indiana. 18-year-old Demarius Gardner Person faces several charges, including murder and obstruction. The shooting happened in October during the Harvest Homecoming event in New Albany. 18-year-old Bryce Gerlach got caught in the crossfire between 2 groups of people fighting. He died at the scene. 2 other people were hurt. 4 other people have been charged in connection to Gerlach's murder. And right now we're working to learn the latest after an Indiana State deputy fired a gun at a church during a live nativity scene. So we first told you about this story on Sunrise Monday. Sheriff's deputies arrived at the church and a New Haven police officer told them a man had pointed a gun at him. Officers later found the suspect on church property, and then at some point an Allen County Sheriff's deputy fired their gun. First responders took 2 people to the hospital in fair to serious condition. Investigators have not said what led to the deputy to fire his gun. And right now, an Indianapolis man is starting his 10-year sentence in federal prison after pleading guilty to commercial robbery and attempted commercial robbery. Investigators found Alonzo Sansbury tried to rob a Dollar Tree on Keystone Avenue this past May. Court documents reveal that he then robbed a Big Lots near Allisonville Road. That's just a few hours later the same day. Sansbury was discharged from parole for a prior robbery conviction less than a year before these attempted robberies. And we now know the legislative priorities for the Indiana State Teachers Association. Less than an hour ago, we learned that ISTA wants to focus on multiple areas for growth and change in the state. During an announcement this morning, leaders say the focus will be on teacher shortage, teacher pay, school safety, and universal pre-K. Our Emily Longnecker was there during this announcement, and she's going to have more on this on 13 News at 5. And right now, our partners at the Capitol Chronicle are reporting that millions of dollars in state spending never went out for bid. So we're talking about $4 million in contracts awarded by the Secretary of State's office. And bidding is a common way for an agency to find the most cost-effective provider for the job. Well, the Chronicle also is reporting these contracts obtained from the Secretary of State's office are not visible in the state's transparency portal. That's the online database where the public can see what agreements the state has made with companies and how much taxpayer money is being spent. Secretary of State spokesperson Lindsay Eaton issued a statement to the Capitol Chronicle in which she defended the contracts. She's saying this is legal because time considerations and critical business applications where choice of a lowest cost bidder would be questionable. The agency opted to pursue vendors with strong track records and commercially competitive proposals in lieu of public bidding. So you can read the entire story right now. We've placed it on our website, WTHR.com. Governor-elect Mike Braun continues to fill out his administration, this time naming his Secretary of Public Safety. Braun announced that he intends to appoint Jennifer Ruth Green to the position. Green is a combat veteran and current deputy commander of the 11th Operations Group at Joint Base Anacostia Bowling in Washington, D.C. The Secretary of Public Safety will oversee law enforcement, emergency preparedness, and public safety policy development.